Hello, welcome back YouTube. All of you who are new, a very warm welcome. It has been a while, so I'm here to do an update connected to the Capricorn Eclipse, which, yes, I'm late and we are in it, for us in Perth, WA. Those of you are moving into that frequency. I can say the frequency does feel different. We're also going to cover the energy of the psychic downloads that I've received. So those of you who don't know, I'm a twin flame who is in union. I have been for 6 months. If you're wanting some guidance on that, the link is below. You can click it and I can help you through your twin flame journey. Now, I am starting to give you some tools as to what you can use on your twin flame path through your ascension. Now, if you look at the community tab, I actually have put an update for the next 3 videos that are coming, and soon I will be recording the August videos. Yes, I have missed 2 zodiac signs. I will attempt to do those in the next few days. And it has been due to lots of transitions that I've physically been going through. So apologies. Hello, Stella. How are you, my love? How is everyone? So everything should go back to normal. Plus, I will be doing additional videos. Now, a few of the downloads I have got is we're still in our third eye, and really the energy of the Cancer is very much connected to feminine, the Capricorn energy very much connected to father frequency. So we've got the feminine and the masculine frequency coming through theoretically. Definitely through your twin flame path, you will have one parent or one what we deem kin connection that you are closer to but would have been more problematic. Hi, Darry. You've also got the energy of a belief system that you may have connected to mother and father that may have coming up through this transit. Now, a lot of this is connected through 2017, and we still have the Capricorn energy that will be for the next 5 years. So much of this is a transitional state. I'm going to pick the overall energy, then I'm going to tune into the collective of what's coming through and also the twin flames. So with the energy of the Capricorn, it is a purge, but it's an eclipse of it. So themes of your employment, where balance needs to be, you know, where accountability, it can be contracts, legalities, karmic cycles, toxic frequencies as well. It could have been that you've already been purging those energies. It may have also been that you've been meditating upon those situations. And I'm going to be doing a video soon for August for the Lionsgate portal. And I'm going to do that ahead of time because I've been guided to. And I have been getting some downloads connected to that as well. So we'll tune into that shortly. And I'll give you an update when I'm coming live for that one. A lot of you guys have been purging, but it's been on and off. And you'll find that the energies are moving pretty fast. So it'll be almost like a mass purge, deep depression. You know, and in your day, you may actually be finding that you're really okay, and then all of a sudden it's coming on in an onset. A lot of it is a purge that both sides are directly having. And look, you don't have to be a twin flame to be affected. There is another thing I have noticed is that there are some that aren't being affected by this frequency at all. So to you, it may feel foreign when you're seeing other individuals that aren't being affected. This is for 2 given reasons. There's 2 separate waves at the moment in the second wave. So some are experiencing a certain dynamic and they're very much tapped into source 5D, 3D. We very much have been in the 4D in the last few weeks, and that's due to the Neptunian energy. So it has been quite a delusional state, neither in the past nor the future. It's sort of this very surreal kind of feeling that we've been experiencing where, yes, you've been dense in the 3D and you've been achieving things, but at the same time, even tuning into the collective energy of, you know, where are we going from here? How are these things going to be? It's felt very surreal, like, is it going to be the same forever? And it did feel quite a daunting energy. The energy is lifting, but your third eye is really being activated at the moment. Even tuning into the energy this morning, there has been a change, so to speak. Because I've been seeing 5s, and 5 is directly connected to change. At the same time, you know, even on the table, there's 5, 5, 5, but it's in reverse. It does feel like what is going to come up during this Capricorn transit is things that were to change that hadn't. that require changing. A lot of things from the Cancer Capricorn nodes as well as both eclipses. What it's done is your manifestation of what you had wanted has come through tenfold. So it's almost like a jumping of timelines that is occurring. But, you know, at a 3D level, you're looking at it and going, this looks like a bloody tower. It's not so much that it's a tower as a time jump and a leap. So, you know, quantum healing right now will be very beneficial for you. If you can do some quantum healing in meditation sense, it's going to help you balance that energy. I've also been guided to really use my chakra cleansing tools, my Reiki cleansing tools, which I do actually have on the website if you do want. You obviously can get them in different places, but really during the retrograde cycles, you really need to use those tools to keep your energy anchored in. You also may be directly attracted to crystals. A very good time to clear the crystals as well, and activate the water out by the moonlight for the moon energy tonight. And that's for us in Perth, WA. So it was this morning, it was coming through at 5:30, I believe. But again, the energy will still be active for a good 3 days. So it is a time to write your intentions of what you need to let go of. Some people may have experienced breakups. Now, there is an adjustment state and a rebalance of that, and there's still directly time for those energies to come. And even if you were in union and jumped out, it's not that you're on a wrong path. It's more that there's an adjustment in your current frequency. And you'll usually find a synchronistic pattern of what's going on in your life and what subject matters you're directly addressing at the moment will directly be a theme that your counterpart energy will be addressing. So it could be anything down to money, especially with the nodes being in Cancer and Capricorn, family and money, home life and money, the tribe, the people, places. Really looking at who you are today, not who you were yesterday, and how you can take that energy forward. It feels surreal and toxic. And a lot of toxicity in a purgatory sense has been coming through. You also may have been feeling quite aggressive as well with your communication style. Very what's that movie? I Can't Lie. You know, really all of a sudden words coming off your tongue, and really speaking whatever you feel is your truth, but then slightly regretful after. I was debating that factor with Giggle Glimmer the other day, and we were talking about the factor of Mercury retrograde. You know, what it brings up, it's like when you're direct, we're in our motion, we're moving through the frequency, we're dealing, you know, especially with Saturn direct and all the rest of it, we're achieving, we're doing, but we're not completely always in the 5D because we're dense in 3D achieving and having that flowing frequency. When it's in a retrograde, it's a great time to gain clarity on what is and what isn't working. So the way you operate from those frequencies, it's almost like a scorpionic energy coming to the surface. You know, those hidden things come up to the surface to be addressed. And it's not right or wrong how you address it. It's divinely guided. So if it does mean it comes up in a very brash manner, it is in theory divinely guided. Yes, you can be in your higher consciousness to a point and you can say, okay, am I speaking from a place of fear-based frequency? Or am I speaking from a place of my higher consciousness? So yes, it's important to do that, but at the same time, try not to be harsh with yourself. It's a very good time also to keep a journal. So things that you are feeling or assessing or dealing with, it's a real good time to actually write those things down so you can tap into it and say, okay, what is the current theme of the scenarios coming up for me right now? You can also look at your birth charts and your past life charts as well to see what life path you're supposed to be on and what you're trying to achieve. A lot of work-related things are going to be coming up to correct things. And you'll find if you're a Cancer or a Capricorn, a lot of you will be quite successful if you're directly doing the work. So if you're working hard, even in a retrograde, you can actually achieve quite a great deal. The majority of the rewards will come after the retrograde, but you'll still find that there will be achievements. Some of you financially, I do feel spiritually, you are able to manifest a lot higher now. So when you're detaching from the fear-based frequency of lack of and inability of, you will find that finances will naturally directly flow towards you. a lot of the themes have been a correction. So you guys may be correcting the way you are working, the way you're operating, the people you're linking in with, and where you want to go from here. So if you had something in mind around January, a lot of those old themes have been coming up and been needing to tie up in a sense of a loose end. I'll just check if all the chat's on. All chat. There you go. Another theme that's been coming through has been the sevens. Now, the sevens can also be correlating with income, with, you know, your ascension, definitely with the frequency of July. You know, in each month, it's going to take a unique vibration in numerology on. Next month is going to obviously be an 8, where there's infinite potential. And the interesting downloads moving from now into August, we're seeing a lot of elephants. And when you actually look at elephant totem, you know, it's boding very well for the feminines. And look, we all have feminine energy in us. So regardless of whether you're a masculine or a feminine, the feminine frequency is the empath, the feelings, the emotions, the intuition. So in an intuitive way, we definitely are going to be experiencing a lot more strength. And the interesting thing is, both with the moon moving into Leo, and then the Lionsgate portal, and then the visions of the elephant, it's double strength. So it can be a very powerful month when we're moving through, and even just tuning into it, or not, how do I put it? It feels lighter in a sense where we're going to be able to see things very clearly. We're also going to be finalizing tasks, and I feel shifting through that energy quite fast. We had been experiencing a lot of sacral chakra, solar plex energy, and really the ball of energy was coming up right under the heart chakra. And a lot of that was where we were having power and we felt we didn't. So feminines potentially could have been purging victim consciousness, purging past tense scenarios of hurt and pain. Hi, Amanda. Just getting to the point where you're looking at where you do have control, where you don't have control, and really asking yourself those questions. Is this a me problem? Is this a them problem? And tracking where you can guide your future forward. When you're distorted through the retrograde, and all of us move into that, so it's no bad in being that energy. Even when you're in your higher consciousness, we fall into that energy when we're meditating and going through the cycle of healing. What you'll actually find is the chakra will be depleted, but it'll be lower, but it's to assist you with that purge. So what had been coming up was past tense energy, especially with the Neptune energy in retrograde. We were in the realm of delusions, but also really intuitively seeing what those delusions were and the way we were operating, where we felt we had no power, where we had power, and the crossness connected to those factors. If you're directly tuning into another individual, this can even be your TF, it can be a family, anyone. It could be a work-related dynamic, but something directly outside of yourself. You then merge out of yourself and you're unanchored. So it is a very risky time. So while doing that, you always then need to shift the energy back. And it is being psychic, it really is. So when you're shifting into the exterior of you and assessing scenarios, you need to re-anchor the energy back in by grounding yourself. Now, you can use smudge sticks for that. If you're purging, hi Andrew, if you're purging and you're looking at other situations and your twin's triggering you, you can do a few things. You can write down what's triggering you. You can leave it for a couple of days, and then you need to re-energize yourself to a point where you shift your energy onto something else that is about you. It can even be something as trivial as really focusing on an item to bring your energy back into self. So, you know, especially when you're getting the psychic downloads because you've tapped into another energy, you then are receiving your counterpart's energy. So you're taking on their physical vibration. So to bring that energy back into yourself, what even at a trivial level, to really focus on a pen and focus on the print, you're reconnecting the energy back into yourself, and do some breathing exercises, and then you can close off the energy above your crown chakra. When you're ready to, by going back to that piece of paper where you wrote the things you were assessing and looking at and what was triggering you, the work you can do is by looking at how it directly relates to your side of the fence. So there may be similar trends of what you're tuning into. And then on a separate piece of paper, I would always very much document what you're dealing with in your very own life right now. And you may see a correlating theme of your psychic downloads versus actually what is happening in your life. Even if you are not in communication with your counterpart, a lot of what you will be dealing with or what you have avoided dealing with is very much their blockages. So it could be anything down to moving house, and you haven't done that yet, and you're really triggered by it. Is there a spiritual reason why something is coming up connected to that house that you haven't purged yet? You know, because a lot of times when there's not movement, you're in your pain body experience, you're also very much anchored into that, like it is defining you. And you still haven't resolved that conflict inside yourself. So by actually doing the work in that area and detaching, naturally those doors will open where the movement with home will come. The same applies to your work. The same applies to any belief system that you're physically having right now. So those of you who have been manifesting a lot of cash component, self-worth, it's for a purpose and it's directly connected for this transit. But at the same time, you need to understand if you're able to manifest that, you're able to master the mind to become an ascended master. Now, we're never going to perfect it, but you can then shift the frequency onto other things that you are focusing on so that you can hone that energy into manifest. So especially we're in our fear-based frequency, and we're in that very delusional state, working through 7 stages of healing through our third eye, our ego. What you'll find is with that, doors tend to be closed while you're meditating on it because you're spiritually blocked. When you detach, which is the video I'll be doing on detachment and the importance of it, it will generate a solution for you in some shape or form. The way I described it to a client the other day was, we tend to look at tower moments in our life or what's currently happening right now in a shake-up sense that it's not divinely guided. But the reality is Mother Nature has its natural ebbs and flows of how things are fixed and sorted and balanced. So we could theoretically say because there's tsunamis, typhoons, etc., it's not divinely guided, but Mother Nature has a way of restoring balance. You, in a sense, have manifested, and this is prior to this transit. So a lot of what is going down is due to the manifestation at that higher realm that you created. So in order for that timeline to shift, a lot of scenarios have been put into place in front of you, but you're not trusting in the process. And believe me, I'm one of them, okay? So I know what I'm talking about in this sense. Theoretically, look at the logic in planting a seed, which is a manifestation. You've planted it, you've placed it by watering it, giving it the time, not saying, hey, you should have been growing by now. Just trusting in time is going to create that seed into a plant, into a tree, and it's going to grow. The same theory applies with the transit of what's physically going on right now. We need to trust in that process. We need to understand that even in the egoic state of our intuition, because of past tense scenarios, we're looking at it and we're going, why is this happening? Where is this fairy tale? Where are these scenarios in my life that I feel deserving of? Theoretically, deservingness and self-worth, the chakras are imbalanced at the moment due to a purge. Now, if you can get those chakras balanced and you understand that everything that you're deserving of will always come towards you, you need to shift your energy onto that higher frequency of what you're wanting. So instead of looking at all the things that didn't go right for you, what other people are doing, why they're doing it, do the work on your side of the fence and then look at it and really start meditating on how that vibration feels, what that's going to be like, even the impossibilities. It could be anything to do with the fact that you have a person in your life that's toxic and you feel energetically there's no way that they can transform and change. Again, it's a belief system that you're sending out to the universe, so therefore it's anchoring it because it's a blockage and a belief system of what you've always experienced. But you do have power in the scenario you can physically take back. But if you're wanting a private session, book and I can work with you guys. We're going to tune into the collective of what's coming through. Now, self-worth, again, there you go, the crowning energy, self-worth. So this is the first card that's come up. And it is a 9, which is connected to September, I'm feeling. August and September do feel very important times. Coming October, it's boding really well. Don't ask me why. That's the psychic download I'm getting. Now, balance the lower chakras at the moment. Check in with what you're thinking about yourself. Do you feel, in theory, with this transit with the Capricorn energy, because again, it's the devil card, theoretically, and 6 has been coming through a lot as well, number of the beast, but it is connected to man. So check in with your belief systems of what you feel you're worth, and is it an egoic state? Do you feel that you're being punished at the moment with the transit? Do you feel that you are in union with yourself and very much peace? You know, like I said, when we're tuning into another person, people, place, or thing, and we're meditating upon it, we're disconnected from self. So we become slightly distorted due to the fact we're tuning into another energy. So your energy then is over there. To bring it back, like I said, meditate on something, tune into something, even if it's to shift your focus, and then breathe your energy back in, and, you know, smoke your actual crown chakra to close the energy off. And then go and do something temporarily to bring yourself right back down in a grounded sense. Those lower chakras and the things that are directly coming up, high love, are there for you to tune into, to balance, but you've got to bring your energy back to keep yourself going. A lot of you might be thinking, where is the celebration? Now, some of you may have experienced a birthday, a party, or some sense of celebration. And I did mention in the previous video that it felt like a point on the clock where things were going to start shifting. Some of you are wondering where this seed was planted, because when you look at the card, again, it's similar to what I was stating about manifestation. So a lot of us at the moment are purging an egoic state, a belief system, really changing and trusting in our intuition, and getting to a point where we thought, hey, how is this the manifestation of what I wanted? This doesn't look anything like it. It doesn't, but it's a shift in the timeline. So what actually has happened due to the moon energy has been a fast track paced energy of it, and it's coming up as 6 again, number of man, number of humanity. It's looking toxic, Capricorn frequency, right? So a lot of what you're seeing in the belief system is what I'm sensing versus what I'm seeing is not matching up. It's not tying up. Why is this happening? Get grounded. Again, trust in Mother Nature, that with the Cancer Capricorn energy, all of what's happening is fast tracking it. But a lot of us are losing patience. A lot of us are feeling, you know, do we have to be patient forever? And again, I'm hearing time. So many of you may be thinking you're running out of time, or you're tuning into divine timing. What does that mean? Why am I required to have patience? It's actually not to have patience. It's simply to detach. Because a lot of the time when we tune into patience, that feels like work. But when we tune out of it and we know what's happened internally, we receive. So it's about not working with patience, but working with yourself, of believing and letting go, that there's nothing you need to do. If there's energy and situations you need to deal with, definitely directly deal with those scenarios. And keep going back to, is this a me problem? Is this another person's problem? Okay, do I have control over that? No. Let's anchor the energy back into me. This is what I can do. And then continue to have that trust in the process. A lot of what is going on is to create that balance that you guys have been asking for, both within your life, romance, work, and love. Now you've got letting go, blockage. And again, I'm going to pull a chakra card, and I will pull some of the cards here, additional cards. Okay, so many of us are holding on to something and we're not giving into it, which was the suggestion. I haven't even looked at the cards. And a lot of what I've already mentioned is already coming up in the cards. So we've got letting go in reverse, a shadow side of what's going on. And when you look at Cancer Capricorn, it's the shadow aspect of it. So our shadow side is coming up. It's being shown to us, and we're not surrendering. And the whole process is, especially with this seed that we planted, it's in reverse. So you don't understand that you already manifested. So that happy picture you had, it is coming, but it's going to look different. You know, it's actually going to be better than what you thought. You just don't know it yet. You're not seeing it. And some of the things are very temporary that are happening. Some of the things are going to be very permanent happening. But it's to shift it and to jump timelines. Again, that chakra I mentioned, you know, we've got personal balance in reverse when it does come to the celebration in reverse. I do feel what's coming up, and I'm going to pull another card on that. I feel you may be tapping into counterparts energy. You might be tapping into another individual's energy, but you're believing something about yourself. You're believing that somebody has overstepped the mark, or you can't do any more work. Some of you also could be feeling that some of your power has been taken away because the universe has got it. To a degree, yes, but it's to help us actually fast track whatever we're trying to achieve. So again, this card breaks down to a 7. Trust in the process. At the lower realms, you feel spiritually bankrupt. The higher realms, you're going to reap what you sow, but in a sense, you directly have. You're needing to learn a lesson to let go, to understand everything that is yours is coming your way. I feel this is on the other person's side of the fence for many of you. Again, person, place, or thing. Yeah, you need to actually listen, okay? Again, it's breaking down to a 7, a 43. Intuitive communication, silent whispers of the heart. Now, with the Lionsgate portal, I'm feeling a lot of higher heart chakra. A lot of the energy has been blocked here, but it feels like it's coming up, but we need to release that frequency. And again, yellow again. So, you know, away from the ego, we know. But in the 3D, what we're seeing, it doesn't match. It doesn't make sense. So we do need to understand that what's happening is to have what you're wanting, but you need to trust in the process of what's occurring. Mother Nature is trying to bring all energies into duality. They're also bringing up all the lower frequency things. Now you've got this card in reverse. The 9 of Hearts. Now, again, hermit mode, needing to anchor in, needing to get grounded. Now, you may find, although the suggestion for July was very much 2 to 3 weeks, really anchoring your energy in and meditating and healing. But if you've been triggered, you've been unable to do that. So you'll probably find for the next 2 weeks, potentially that is the energy that will come through because you were unable to do that. So it's almost like the polar opposite, you know, from the Cancer Capricorn energy of what's going on. It is in reverse. So you're being asked while this is all going on, be it becomes toxic or it becomes scary, get grounded. And there could be feminine energies interfering, feminine energies causing conflict. You as a feminine checking in with your belief system about yourself, or at an emotional level for males, you know, your belief system's connected to women in general, your mother figure, the things that were making you feel what your true belief systems are versus what they directly are now. 9, again, very much I'm saying September. The work that we're doing is from now to September. But again, this transit with the Capricorn energy is till the end of the year. So although it ties off at the end of the year, it does move into 2020 because of the Capricorn frequency. Fulfillment, harmony, and protection in reverse. So you may be feeling super vulnerable at the moment. And that can be on any person's side of the fence. So there can be an aspect of needing to be vulnerable, tapping into that vulnerability, seeing the discord to actually make a conscious decision about what is and what isn't working. And again, a lot of what had been coming through was what we see at the beginning of the month isn't going to be what it's going to be at the end of the month. And potentially in the next week, there could be 3 major changes in that one scenario that you're directly dealing with. And believe me, I feel most of you are dealing with several, but one dynamic in general, and it can be a major thing in your life, is really going to shift 3 times potentially. With this patience, we'll clarify. Okay, you're not, you feel a little loss, okay? And again, with the energy with the sun, it's going to cause off a burn-off effect of the ego, and the Leo frequency is going to start coming in. You may feel that you lost too much. You may feel you gave too much power away. And again, it can already be that you've meditated upon that. With patience in reverse, you're not willing to lose anymore. You're looking forward. So it can be that you've dealt with it. It can be that you're angry, grief, sadness, resurrection. Now, something that you lost is coming back. but it doesn't, you're reflecting back on the past, but again, that's the Neptunian frequency, you know, the delusions of what was lost versus what's real. You know, something that's always yours is never lost. It just may not be directly in front of you. It doesn't mean it's not yours. I mean, you can have a loved one who's passed over and gone. It's still love, you know. So we're very connected in, and we're really breaking down the direct paradigm of what a connection is. So you don't need to be intimate with a person to be in love with them. You don't need to be married to them. Everything that you work on to break down that codependent pattern, you find it breaks it down to purity of just simply love. So when you don't require a person for an income, when you don't require a person to fill your cup and you've done the work there, it really does break it down to a point where you're simply uniquely in your own frequency. Now, I am going to come back a little bit later again to do more tune-in with, I'm going to do a masculine read. I'll probably do it tonight, which will be in America tomorrow morning. And that's going to be for twins in union, twins with a karmic, and no contact as well, and contact. So I'm going to do 4 areas. Okay, you really need to, feminines, get back into the 5-day, and masculines, they're really working on, again, alchemizing situations and seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. So again, they're coming into their spirituality. In the higher realm, it can be they're trusting in the process. In the lower realm, they are focusing too much on finances and lack thereof. But it's going to teach them a lesson regardless. Again, you're really guided, feminines, to be in meditation. You don't need to detach from everyone. You need to observe at this point and get your psychic downloads, because it's breaking down to a 9, the Hermit card. You're gaining insight into what's going on right now. So if your frequency has directly picked up, it's there for a reason. And you'll find masculines will start having a descent to ascend. Mystery, magic, and excitement. Again, with this balance, you'll find what I just said. Masculines are going to go into hermit mode, and it is connected to the moon energy. So all of these things are going to be tuned into to be rectified. You know, where is that? What does that mean? A lot of them are awakening to their emotional body. So they do directly know where the love is. It's just they're wanting to come at a certain format. They're meditating upon the risk, okay, especially after all that's transpired. But they directly know who their chosen one is. They know what they want to move towards. If this is income related as well, because, you know, this transit is very much about tribe, our finances, the things we directly need to do. Yeah, it is. Generally, it is a test, because while you're tuning into other energies, or it's not you tuning into energies, you're aware of them, but you're detaching. So in that detachment, through that test, what you do find is if you're in your truth, right, and you're in a breakup with your twin or a person you directly love, once you come into your consciousness and you check in with yourself, it's not that you can't move on, you can, okay? But if you truly know that TF is still on your mind, there's absolutely no point to entertain another person, because you still need to do the healing. If you do then do that, you've still got the problem, because then twin flame will come back in, and it's there for you to actually correct your mind to be in your duality, okay? So coming home to yourself and always being authentic to your own integrity, and being kind to yourself. Okay, am I thinking about this person? Okay, it's okay, I can be by myself. If you're getting to a point you're saying, I don't want to be alone forever, we're alone in our own vessels our whole life, but we're choosing to share our vibration with other people. So it's even healing that aspect where theoretically there's no such thing as alone, okay? We share our time with people. We are the salt and pepper on a meal. So who we share with and how we operate from is our responsibility, even with the twin flame journey. And the higher into your ascension you go, you take accountability more so for that, because you're not in that codependent patterning of feeling, if I don't do X, Y, and Z, X, Y, and Z won't come back to me, because it's not an expectation. It's your personal needs. You're becoming accountable for your own needs. So you're like, okay, well, right now, potentially you may not be in your own personal alignment, or you may be working on yourself. So therefore you don't jump out of alignment. You're like, okay, I understand that you want something casual. Sorry, that's not for me. And you just keep in your alignment, and then energetically they start doing the work on themselves. And again, it is these personal boundaries. So some of you, and I was saying there's two energies coming through with the Twin Flame Collective, some of you aren't getting triggered at all. Some of you are avoiding some of these areas, which is human, because the blockages and the pain body experience is so large that you're like, no, personal boundaries right off the Richter scale. Others of you might feel you're going back over old ground, and you're needing to create those healthy boundaries and balance this chakra. You could even just be triggered thinking it is, okay? So it really depends on what's directly going on in your twin flame path. But I do feel masculines are going to go into meditation, but they're in the 5D. So they're going to have a dissension, they're going to have the psychic downloads, and they're really going to be seeing their future of where they're going. Letting go, end of winter's end. Now, regardless of what season it is, stop tuning into time. Remember, I did mention this at the beginning. Time, tuning into time is we're not trusting in the process, detachment. And it's weird that I said I was going to do a video on detachment, and a lot of what's coming through is a requirement to understand we're jumping timelines. What's happening is triggering us because we don't grasp that what's happening is for us. So we're getting triggered by those factors because we're looking at this as a permanency versus it's a requirement to transform the whole journey. So winter's end is connected to time and letting go. It's like you're not letting go because you're focused too much on how long it's taking. You're not surrendering because it's an aspect of your healing. So amethyst, healing, not allowing this healing process to come. Again, it is tying up karmic ends. So the Capricorn energy for this transit is going to bring a lot of crap to the surface. You need to try to not get triggered by it and understand that it's going to change several times to resolve itself to a true environment of what it's currently going to be. Now, I will do more updates, but I do currently have a visitor, so I'm going to leave. I will come back and actually do a tune into just the twin flame energy. Now, any other psychic downloads I get, I will mention during that, and at the end of the video, I will answer some questions. I'm also going to come back during the week and I'm going to do a small session to give away free reads. And I'm going to start doing this maybe every few months. And I'm going to create a folder so that new subscribers, when they come to the channel, they can get a gist of what I do and they can see example facts. So therefore, if you're wanting to make a booking, you're going to be able to test the theory, okay? So thank you everyone for joining and liking the video. I appreciate it. And again, if you are wanting to make a booking, there are some spaces. There's 2 individuals I still need to talk to. So I will be back shortly.